Not to be confused. I don't think they're related. No, probably not.
It's hard to tell us apart.
So we have a Jeremy Roberts, and then we have Jeremy Medrano, and they are with Infinitude Creative Group. So I'm going to introduce them separately. So we're going to start with Jeremy Roberts. He is the Chief Learning Officer at Infinitude Creative Group, and he brings over 20 years of experience in change management, communication, sustainability programs, and custom training, design, development, and delivery. It's a long list. And more recently, he's been focused on creating custom learning programs for to meet business needs of his clients. And in the early part of his career, he was more focused on creating change management and communications strategies for more large, complex deployments. So, but because he had that background, he's kind of been able to do these new developments through that lens, sounds like. So, all right, and then Jeremy Medrano.
It's me.
He found his passion early on for visual design and storytelling. So he actually graduated with a degree in digital filmmaking from the Art Institute of Dallas. And then, so early on in his career, he did video editing, motion graphic artist, and graphic design. And then more recently, I guess, moved into management and creative direction. And now he serves as an advisor and portfolio review judge for the Art Institute. And how he's the creative director for Infinitude, and he oversees the artistic development of all of their work, supervises the team of designers, and also the editors and production artists. So I'm going to go ahead and give it off to them. Jeremy and Jeremy, thank you.
Thank you. How's the day going for everyone so far? Phenomenal. Wow. All right. Raise your hand if you've learned at least one new thing today. Okay, good. Hopefully there's nobody that didn't raise their hand. So I have two goals for this session. One, that you'll learn something in this session that you didn't know. We're going to cover a lot of ground, and hopefully you'll learn about an innovation that you hadn't heard of. Two is that I look directly into the projector lamp no more than 5 times. Because I've already done it about a dozen times while we were in here setting up.
My score is 4.
Okay.
5.
See, we will count that off for you as it happens. So about a year ago, one of our clients came to us and asked us to put together a presentation for a group that he was getting together to talk about trends in the learning industry. And that was really all the direction that he gave. And we kind of probed a little bit, well, what does that really mean? You know, what are you trying to get out of this? And, just trends. Just talk about trends. So we took it back and we said, okay, well, what are we going to do? I mean, we can talk about micro-learning, I don't know, gamification, mobile. And part of the problem was we didn't really know who this audience was going to be and what their backgrounds were going to be. And we didn't want to go give them a presentation about something that they already knew about, right? So we wanted to do something different. When our team gets together to brainstorm for a client solution, what we see happen all the time is we'll go around the room and somebody will start talking about a game they played at home, or a show they saw, or a commercial they saw, or a video they saw on YouTube. And 9 times out of 10, that's what really kicks our brainstorming into a new or a creative solution. Something that's affecting our personal lives. How do we kind of translate that into our world of learning? So that's the angle that we decided to take. We said, let's go look at where is innovation happening at home, affecting how I live, how might that innovation affect how I learn? So we went into it with that attitude and we looked at 3 key questions. What is happening from an innovation standpoint in particularly the marketing and gaming space? Raise your hand if you have an unlimited budget. Okay, nobody has an unlimited budget. Well, the entertainment industry has a pretty big budget. Marketing in general has a pretty big budget. Gaming has a pretty big budget. So it stands to reason that innovation is going to come from these areas where there's a lot of money. All right? So we decided, let's look there. How's that impacting our daily lives? How could that innovation potentially impact corporate learning, either in the future or maybe in the very near future? And then finally, how has that innovation perhaps already impacted what we do in the learning industry? And a funny thing happened. We gave that presentation last October. We obviously submitted it to present here today. Here we are. Earlier this summer, we said, okay, well, we need to go update this thing, make sure it's still valid. And almost everything that we had in that presentation had already changed. The innovation, there were new innovations that replaced the ones that we talked about a year ago. This company went a different direction. So I think we have 3 slides that are the same. And we kept Pokemon GO and Tasty videos because we put them in the title of the presentation. So we felt like we had to at least make reference to those. But that's just an indication of how quickly things are changing. So we're going to look at a few different areas. We could talk about a million things, but we tried to narrow it down a little bit. And we're going to start with video on demand.
All right. So video on demand. The technology for video on demand is fairly new. And what I mean by that is you need high-speed internet for this to work. And you need high-speed internet available to everybody for this to work the way it's supposed to work. So one of the big players in video on demand right now is Netflix. Netflix started streaming in 2007. And you remember first they had DVDs, and they would send DVDs to your home. And surprisingly, one of the companies who pioneered streaming and started working on that was Blockbuster. But I'm not going to concentrate on that. You can come and ask me about it. There's a very interesting story there. But right now, there's over a million, 100 million users worldwide. And I'm one of them. Does anyone here has Netflix? What do you like about it? Watch what I want to watch, when I want to watch it. No commercials, yeah. It can kind of predict what you like and kind of, yes. And so some of the other big players in streaming are now, I mean, you see Prime out there, Hulu. HBO Now convinced me to get HBO Now mainly for Game of Thrones. Yeah? There we go. Thank you, thank you. Did you see the last episode? Oh, don't spoil it. I know there's some folks here who are not caught up yet. I don't know why, because you can binge watch, so it's your fault. And Walt Disney Pictures is up there. They do not have streaming service yet. David, I want to talk to you. They announced recently that they're taking all of their movies out of Netflix because they're going to start their own streaming service. So if they're interested in that, I'm interested in that. I think they see the potential there. So 2 years before Netflix started streaming, a platform came up called YouTube. And what YouTube really did, it helped make a shift from knowledge retention to knowledge acquisition. There's a lot of things you want to retain. There's a lot of things you want to make sure they're encoded in your brain. You want to memorize them. You want to be an expert at them. But there's a lot that you don't. And high-speed internet video on YouTube made this very, very appealing. Because there are things that, for example, I always give this example. Phone numbers. I mean, yeah, you want to memorize your wife's phone number. I learned that the hard way. You want to memorize your kids' phone numbers. But, I mean, I can call Jeremy. I can call some of the folks that work in my company, but I don't have their phone numbers memorized. I can go get them. I can go acquire the knowledge. And if I try to memorize them, some clown is going to say, hey, I changed my phone number, and I have to memorize it again. So there's some things a healthy brain will purge information. So sometimes you say, oh, it's forgetting in my brain. No. A healthy brain will do that. Your brain is not concerned about what you ate 2 weeks ago for breakfast. So he's saying, I don't need this, I don't need this, I don't need this. He needs to concentrate with other things. Well, yeah, that's true. And then you have other problems. But, and I've heard the counter argument, well, what if I lose my phone? I understand that, but, there's I can still log into somebody else's phone and retrieve all my contacts. There's ways to do that now. The way I see that is like saying, I'm not going to drive a car. I'm going to walk to work every day. And it's going to take 3 hours back and forth. But the problem is I may have a flat tire one day. I mean, yeah, you might. But the pros outweigh the cons. And so technology does not have to be perfect. It just has to be better than the humans. And that is very easy to do for technology. So we have started a shift that we learn. For example, we learn cooking from maybe our parents, to maybe taking cooking classes, to maybe watching a cooking show, to Tasty. You guys familiar with Tasty? It's very cool. So Tasty, it's only 2 years old, and they were founded by BuzzFeed, and it's hard to find out how many views they have because they have so many platforms. But just in the month of July of this year, they had 1.1 billion views on Facebook, billion with a B. 65 million on YouTube, and who knows how many on their BuzzFeed platform and on the app. It's proven very successful, and it's not just really fast videos. I want to show you one sample, and then we can analyze it. So let's take a look at this real quick. Again, it's not just shooting something on your phone, speed it up, put it on Facebook, there we go, right? Is that what it is? It's not. They're taking a lot of things in consideration here. For example, they know that you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube or on the platform, so they don't need to bother with an intro that says, hello and welcome to Tasty. Today, in our one-pot chicken fajita pasta video, we're going to learn to do a chicken fajita pasta. You're going to need chicken, pasta, and a bunch of other things. So they understand this. They understand the user interface. Take that into consideration. They understand that fine. Look, did you memorize this? All the ingredients? You don't have to. If you wanted to read, I need to read. Okay, give me some stuff. That's fine. You can see the ingredients down here. And you scroll down, they're all there. They understand that. Look, they tell you 1 onion here. See that? That onion's chopped. Are you going to put a whole onion in there because they didn't tell you to do that? They understand that you are not an idiot. And so they're not going to say, all right, so now let's take a knife. Let's go chop this onion. And you sit there for 20 seconds. You don't need that. Okay? Now, is chopping techniques important? Yeah. Are the types of knives that we use important? Yes, but that does not belong on the chicken fajita pasta video. This is micro-learning at its finest. They understand that. The knives, that's another video. Chopping techniques, that's another video. Okay? So they've been able to expand, and now they narrow your search to, oh, you're a vegetarian? Fine, go to the vegetarian section. Oh, you want to check out foods from other countries? Go check out the Japan version. They took this and also they expanded to Nifty. Nifty, the same style of video, but it's things for your pets, science projects, arts and crafts, all the stuff you see on Pinterest. I was all over that, planning my wedding and doing all those things. Helped a lot. And see, they've taken something that YouTube did very well and improved it. Because yes, I have been in those cases where I'm over here, newlywed, I'm building my bed, and look, I took the instructions that somebody took the care for. Somebody wrote these instructions in legible language, and they took it to a graphic designer who designed all of this, and they said, okay, here are the instructions. And I said, okay, put that over there. YouTube, how to do this thing. That's what I did. And honestly, I was halfway there. I just needed one thing. This thing you need to it was weird. So I went to YouTube, and there was a gentleman saying, okay, today we're going to skip. So the type of things you're going to skip. Oh, there it is. Oh, you lock it. Got it. Thank you. Moved on. So Nifty Tasty understands this. They also expanded now. Tasty is now selling a product called the One Pot. You can cook any of the stuff that you see on their videos here, and it connects to their app. You can download their app. You can find, you can cook steak. You can find whatever you want to do, and you tell the app, hey, connect to the One Pot, please. And so now it knows exactly the heat. It knows exactly that, oh, you're cooking the steak? Okay, leave it here for this amount of time, and it'll tell you when you need to flip it. Hey, it's time to flip it. And it doesn't sound like that, but you know what I mean. It beeps or something. Something else that came out of YouTube was Crash Course. Crash Course was founded by John Green and Hank Green, which were both YouTubers, celebrities. And they were able to take subjects like American history, world history, and they made it very appealing. Their videos are no longer than 12 minutes, and they've made flipping the classroom very easy to a lot of teachers. They've made it very easy for students who need to refresh on one thing that they don't understand and need to just kind of go see it one more time, twice, 3 times. There it is. Now I kind of understand it. They made that very easy. Has anyone seen any of these videos? One person? High five. There we go. Let me show you a quick sample.
Hi, I'm John Green. This is Crash Course World History, and today we're going to talk about World War I, the so-called Great War. So Franz Ferdinand wasn't particularly well liked by his uncle, the Emperor Franz Joseph. Now that is a mustache. But even so, the assassination led Austria to issue an ultimatum to Serbia, whereupon Serbia accepted some but not all of Austria's demands, leading Austria to declare war against Serbia. And then Russia, due to its alliance with the Serbs, mobilized its army. Germany, because it had an alliance with Austria, told Russia to stop mobilizing, which Russia failed to do. So then Germany mobilized its own army, declared war on Russia, cemented an alliance with the Ottomans, and then declared war on France because, France.
So yeah, their scripting is very guided to the audience, but also they've taken the care to use the language that you would find on standardized tests so that when you are taking those tests, you're familiar with those terms. They've expanded now. Google gave them a grant. The grant finished, and so now it's crowdfunded, and they have gone to do government, economics, all of this, and they're expanding to Crash Course Kids, which is guided more to that audience. Something else that was born from YouTube was the Khan Academy. Saul Khan started by making small videos for his family. He had some cousins that were struggling with math, and he said, I can help you out. But he will be on the phone and be on Skype. And he said, I'm just going to make a video. Because sometimes, one of the cousins couldn't be there, or he needed to hear this one more time. So So he made a video, put it up on YouTube, because he was just looking for a platform that can support that. And so his cousins were watching the videos now. And soon enough, the public started watching these videos. And they started commenting and saying, hey, this helped me out, thank you. Hey, can you do one about this subject? And so he saw the potential in that. And he created this platform, the Khan Academy. And you can find all kinds of subjects here. College math, computer science. And there's some serious algorithms going on behind this. So now, the Academy understands if you're struggling with a subject, it'll space it out. If you can see that you're doing very well on this subject, it'll speed you up through it and suggests other subjects that understands you might be very well at. So they're doing some very, very cool things there. So we've moved from searching something, going to the web, looking for something, typing, to just asking for it. How many of you guys have one of these? Let's just try a few things here. Amazon. Resume my Audible book, Ready Player One.
Getting your book from Audible. Resume Ready Player One. There's 14 minutes left in the chapter and 13 hours 46 minutes left in the book.
Thank you. Amazon, I can't hear you. So Amazon, set your volume to number 10.
Ray's avatar looked like a portly, bearded college professor. He sported an
Okay, Amazon,
red,
stop.
wire-rimmed spectacle
Amazon,
and a
stop. Thank you. So you can imagine how useful this would be if I am maybe at a restaurant and I need to acquire knowledge real quick, and I don't have to go open a binder, and now I have to go wash my hands because I did all this. I can just ask for it. Let's try some other stuff. You want to try some?
Yeah, let's do a little experiment.
Okay.
We don't want to scare you, but we want to try something out. Who's just recently rolled out a learning program? Somebody. Anybody. Just a volunteer. We're not going to hurt you, right? What was the subject? Recruiting. Like how to recruit? Recruiting training? Okay. How long did it take you to put it together? 3 weeks. Okay, cool. Alexa, show me a recruiting training video on YouTube. Oh, turn it up.
Yeah, Amazon, set your volume to number 10. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Alexa, that's
Yeah,
Amazon.
we get them confused.
I named them, and now I forgot my children's names. There you go.
What did we get?
What do we get?
Yeah, well, we got pruning trees. So it didn't hear me real well. Right? So that experiment didn't work as well. But all right, we'll do one that's loaded. Alexa, play how to fold a fitted sheet on YouTube.
Playing top result from YouTube.
Come on, Alexa.
Promise it worked an hour ago.
Yeah.
She did find it, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the point is, I think what we just looked at, even though that's kind of playful stuff at home, that's voice-activated performance support. And that technology is here right now, sitting at that table.
I want to show you one more, because I'm pretty sure that maybe you don't have the cool Alexas or the Echoes, but you have a phone. How many of you guys have seen this? Not that. That's just... There we go. I feel so exposed. How do you insert an image on Google Sheets?
Here is information from Google Support.
And there are my steps right there. Okay, thank you very much. That was easy. I can just look it up. So, you've seen how we've moved from learning in the kitchen to subjects from school to things that you do every day. things that you might want to do at work. And you look for this type of things on your own, using things like YouTube and Alexa, all thanks to video on demand.
So you can see this is a shift.
Hey! I said Alexa, and
Yeah.
she's got a powerful microphone. Now you're playing.
And see, there's always kinks.
Alexa,
right?
stop. You're embarrassing me. Alexa, stop. We're going to have that talk tomorrow. Okay. I'm going to mute the microphones.
Borrow your.
There we go. Okay.
So this shift is already happening, right? And as I just mentioned, we can call it voice-activated performance support. We can call it all kinds of things. But
It's not working very well. Maybe you got to get closer.
get a little closer.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it wasn't working from here.
But I think, your learners, this is what they're doing at home. This is what we're doing at home. And there's a certain expectation that comes with that this is also going to be the way that they can acquire knowledge at work. And frankly, if we don't provide it to them that way, they'll go find it somewhere else. It's what they're already doing. So change is happening fast. So we're going to make a big shift now into virtual reality. Okay, who's got kids? We've got parents. How many of your kids have or want a PlayStation VR? Oh, okay. Well, all right. Just two. Okay. Well, you've heard about it, I'm assuming. So PlayStation VR is already out. It is very popular. Virtual reality as an entity, is really starting to take off. What you see up here are a few of the more popular higher-end headsets. We're going to look at one of those today here in just a few minutes. But there's all kinds of ways to consume virtual reality. And you've got on your tables, there's a lot of different options, cardboard, the Samsung Gear, even these little glasses that you can clip onto your phone.
Which I need them back, by the way. I borrowed them.
Yes, we do need those back. So the accessibility there's a pretty wide range to it. But we're going to kind of talk about what capabilities are there, where it's going, and what it could potentially mean for us. We mentioned one of the headsets is the Oculus Rift, and this was a Kickstarter campaign a few years ago. That's where the Rift started. About 2 years after the first one was created, Facebook bought it for $2 billion with a B. So that tells you what Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg thought about the technology and its future. If we kind of look at some of the numbers and the projections, right now we're in the very, very early stages. Yeah. Okay. Technology. The market for virtual reality and augmented reality for this year, and we'll talk more about augmented reality later, is estimated to be about $11.4 billion. That is expected to double every year up through 2021. And in 4 years, we're looking at a $215 billion industry. Now, that's a prediction and a projection. We'll see if that's how it actually plays out. But that's what analysts are looking at. By way of comparison, iPhone revenue in 2015 was $155 billion. And so we're looking at surpassing that ubiquitous technology that's in our pockets. So let's talk a little bit more about virtual reality and what it might mean for us. Because where we see a lot of the innovation right now is in gaming and entertainment. But it's been around a little longer than maybe we think. The Center for Brain Health is just right here in our backyard, UT Dallas sponsored facility. They started in 2008 creating virtual reality training for children with autism to teach them how to better handle social situations. Now, virtual reality in 2008 didn't have the big headset market that you see now. So as this definition evolves, in 2008, it looked a little more like this. 3D video, perhaps more like Second Life for those who remember that. But they are, by the way, creating enhanced headset versions of this right now. The whole idea behind this is, kids with autism in particular, and my son has autism, so I can relate to this. When he is learning a skill, he is usually learning that social skill with a therapist in a one-on-one setting. And he is learning that skill with that therapist in that specific physical environment. Okay? He has a hard time generalizing that skill to another physical environment with another person in another setting. That's not easy for him. Okay? What this allows them to do is place these kids in these virtual environments where they can interact with a variety of different characters that are played by the therapist in a variety of different settings. It gives them reps and changes that context for them to better increase that skill. And it works. They've seen improvements in starting and in maintaining a conversation, at picking up on social cues. It works so well that recently they rolled this out in DISD for middle school students of any kind. They said, hey, this doesn't just work if you have autism. There are a lot of kids that struggle socially, that this could help. They just completed that work. Jeremy and I were down there last week. They haven't released the study yet, so we can't tell you the exact numbers, but we do know that it was successful. And I think here in a couple of months they're going to publish their findings, that they made a difference in those kids and their ability to perform socially using this technology. So it's already here. That's been around for 9 years. Where else is it? Has anybody heard about this? Yeah. Walmart is going virtual. They're putting an Oculus Rift in their training centers to train 140,000 of their employees by the end of this year. And they're looking at things like customer service training, avoiding spills, how to handle the crowds on Black Friday. So this is real. They're already. This is already happening. UPS is another example. Sorry. Yes. That's a great question. I'm not sure exactly the particulars of how it works. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's in a case-to-case basis. I know in some cases you can create that simulation where it's completely self-sufficient. And in other cases, and one that we'll talk about here in a second, there are other people involved